Hello class, this is Mrs. Youd. Today I'm going to teach you Chapter 1, Lesson 1, which is called Solving Simple Equations. Today we're going to be working on page 6 in your RPJ. For these first problems, we need to solve the equation and then check our solution. So let's take a look at number 1. My suggestion to you whenever you are solving an equation is to take a light colored pen or pencil and draw a line down on the equal sign and then circle the variable that you are solving for. In this case, we're solving for x. Now we need to look and see what's going on. It says x plus 5. So if you remember from the video that you should have watched yesterday, we need to keep this equation in balance. And in order to do that, we need to add or subtract the same amount on both sides. In this case, since it says x plus 5, we need to think of the opposite of plus 5. The opposite is to subtract 5. So remember, in order to keep the equation balanced, if we subtract 5 on this side, we have to also subtract 5 on the other side of the equation so that it is in balance. When we do that, plus 5 minus 5 cancel to 0, and we are left with only x on that side. And on the right side, we have 16 minus 5, which is 11. So that means our answer is x equals 11. Now let's plug it in and see if we did it right. So what we're going to do is take this 11 and substitute it in for the x. When I do that, I get 11 plus 5 and see if that equals 16. And 11 plus 5 does equal 16, so that we know we got it right. Let's take a look at number 2. Draw your line at the equal sign, circle the variable. This time we're solving for w. So we're going to do the opposite of what's happening to the variable. It says minus 12. The opposite of minus 12 is to add 12. So remember, in order to keep it balanced, if we do it to the right side of the equation, we have to do it to the left side as well. When we do that, negative 12 plus 12 is 0, and then we just need to simplify. So we have 11 plus 12, which is 23, and then on the other side, we just have w. So that is our answer. Okay, let's go ahead and plug it back into the original equation. 11 equals, now we have w. W we got is 23. And 23 minus 12 is 11. So we got it right. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3, here's my line, here's my z. So right now it has 3/4 plus z. So the opposite of adding 3/4 is to subtract 3/4 from both sides. Now, since this is a fraction, I'm going to put it here instead. And the reason why is I need to think about this. Remember, when you add fractions or subtract fractions, you have to have your denominator be the same. So what we need to do is think of what denominator would work for 6 and 4. So 6 and 4 both multiply into 12. So if we think about that, and if we could multiply this by 2, the 6 by 2, and then multiply the 4 by 3, then we're going to have 12 as our denominator. And on the top, we're going to have 10 minus 9. So I'll write that here, 10 minus 9. All right. So now what's left on the left side of the equation after 3/4 minus 3/4 is 0, and we're just left with z. 10 minus 9 is 1, so this would be 1 over 12. So that is your answer. Z is equal to 1 over 12. If we were to substitute 1/12 back into z to check our solution, 3/4 plus 1/12 should equal 5 over 6. So let's see if that does. We need to get our denominator the same, so I'm going to multiply by 3 on the top and the bottom. So that leaves me with 9 plus 1 is 10 over 12 should equal 5 over 6. And it does, because if we divide this by 2, it ends up working out. Okay, so that's what happens if you have a plus or a minus. Now, on the next set of problems, numbers 4, 5, and 6, this time we're dealing with either multiplication or division. So on number 4, I'm going to draw my line and circle my variable. This time 3 is being multiplied by the variable. The opposite of multiplication is division. The easiest way to write division is as a fraction. Fractions are our friends. They really help make the problem much easier. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. That's why that works, and 1 multiplied by y is just y. Now we have 18 divided by 3, which is 6. So our answer is y equals 6. Let's plug that back into the equation. So we have 3 multiplied by y, which we got as 6, is equal to 18, and that does indeed work. All right, let's take a look at number 5. Draw my line, circle my variable. This time what's happening to the variable, k, is it's getting divided by 7. Remember, fractions mean division. So this means divided. The opposite of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by 7. And when we do that, we see that 7 divided by 7 is 1. So that cancels out, and we have k is left. And on the right, we have 10 multiplied by 7, which is 70. So my answer is k equals 70. Now we need to plug it back in. So k over 7, we got 70 for k, should equal 10, and it does. In number 6, we have a fraction. So I'm going to teach you something about this fraction. So I'm just going to write it over here. 4/5 n is equal to 9 over 10. So notice that we have 4/5 is being multiplied by n. And so usually what people think is, okay, well, it's being multiplied, and so the opposite is to divide. So let's divide out 4/5. Now the problem with this is this looks really complicated. This is what's called a compound fraction because it has a fraction inside another fraction. So it gets really, really complicated. What that means is you can do it this way, but I'm going to show you an easier way in just a minute. That's why I left this whole side blank here. But let's go ahead and finish solving this one. So what this means is that we have n left over, and n is equal to, and I'm going to write this a different way, 9/10 divided by 4/5. And if you remember keep, change, flip, then we'll keep the 9/10, change the division to a multiplication, and flip 5 over 4. Okay, keep this in mind, all right? Now I'm going to show you a different way to solve it. Whenever you're dealing with a fraction being multiplied by the variable, my suggestion is that you do something called multiply by the reciprocal. So the reciprocal of 4 over 5 is 5 over 4. Basically, you're just multiplying by the flip. And if you do it on one side in order to keep it fair and balanced, you have to do it on the other. Now watch what happens over here. We have 5 and 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So this is going to cancel to a 1. And then we have 4 over 4. 4 divided by 4 is also 1. So that's going to cancel there. And what are you left with? You're left with just n equals, and then we have 9/10 multiplied by 5/4. Now I want you to look at this here. N equals 9/10 multiplied by 5/4. N equals 9/10 multiplied by 5/4. See, these are exactly the same. So that means that you can do it this way if you want to, but it's a whole lot easier to think about it if you just skip this part and go straight to the end, which is multiplying by the reciprocal. It's a little bit faster for you. Okay, so now let's go ahead and simplify this. 5 and 10 simplify to a 1 on the top and a 2 on the bottom, and nothing else simplifies there, so this will be n is equal to 9 over 8. And I'm okay with you leaving it as an improper fraction. If you want to switch it to 1 1/8, that's fine, but usually just leaving it as an improper fraction is a little easier, so that's fine. Let's go ahead and plug 9/8 back into our original equation. So we have 4/5 multiplied by 9/8 should give us 9/10. So let's see if it does. 4 and 8 simplify to a 1 and a 2. And so 1 times 9 is 9. 5 times 2 is 10. So this does indeed work. Okay, so that was using multiplication and division to solve simple equations. Now we're going to combine a few things. So in number 7, 8, and 9, we're going to combine. Let's take a look at number 7. So let's draw our line and circle a variable. This time you'll notice that we can simplify a little bit first. And so whenever you can simplify something, you want to do that first. You want to make it simple before you start moving things around. So negative 12 divided by 6 is negative 2. So I'm going to change this into x minus 2 is equal to 9. Now I'll still circle my variable, and what we have going on now is minus 2. So the opposite of minus 2 is to add 2. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides, and that means that this cancels to a 0, and I'm left with x is equal to 11. And so there's my answer. Now let's plug it back in and see if we got it right. So we got it as 11 minus 12 divided by 6 is equal to 9. Order of operations tells me that I need to simplify the division before I do the subtraction. So that's going to be 11 minus 2 is equal to 9, and 11 minus 2 does equal 9, so we got it right. All right, let's take a look at number 8. Draw my line, circle my variable. So what we need to do first is simplify what we have there. So h plus the absolute value of negative 8. Remember, absolute value means how far is negative 8 away from 0. So negative 8 is 8 units away, so that becomes h plus 8 equals 15. Okay, I'd like you to finish number 8 on your own and turn the video back on and see what you got. Okay, I got h is equal to 7. Did you get it right? If not, see if you can find your mistakes. Let's take a look at number 9. So here's my variable, and let's draw the line. This time, what we have to simplify first is 1.3 multiplied by 2. So 1.3 times 2 is 2.6. So there we have our next step. I would like you to finish number 9 on your own and turn the video back on and see what you got. I got my answer as p is equal to 5.3. If you did not get it right, see if you can find your mistake. All right, let's take a look at number 10. A coupon subtracts $5.16 from the price P of a shirt. You pay $15.48 for the shirt after using the coupon. Write and solve an equation to find the original price of the shirt. So let's break this down. We have a coupon subtracts $5.16 from price P. So let's stop there and see if we can write that down. So we have a price and we're subtracting off $5.16. All right, and then it says you pay $15.48 for the shirt after using the coupon. So after you've taken off $5.16, then it's going to be $15.48. Now we need to solve this equation to find out what was the original price of the shirt, P. You go ahead and finish this on your own and turn the video back on and see what you got. Okay, I added $5.16, so that means that the original price of the shirt was $20.64. Okay, that's it for 1.1. Thanks for watching.